is the craziest excuse you've ever heard for missing class?
My mom had a baby in the minivan on the way to school.
No way.
Yeah, that happened. Welcome, cool teachers, to the Cool Teacher Lounge. We've got some fun stuff. Thanks for joining us today. We've got actually lots of examples of students and some teachers and their excuses for why they couldn't show up, why they couldn't turn stuff in. We've
never done that, of course.
No, of course
Never.
So we thought we'd scour the internet and find out what great things were out there. We'll share with you some student excuses, some teacher excuses, and a little philosophy about how and which to accept and why and how you teach people, that kind of stuff. So, and these are always, we think, good just to remind ourselves that we're not alone out there.
And these are true excuses.
Yes. One of my favorite students of all times, and his name is Ethan, and he's probably watching, showed up in my class one day without a shoe. True story.
Okay.
I said, Ethan, where's your shoe? Ethan said, what? He looked down at his foot. He noticed his shoe was gone. So we started backtracking this, to figure out what's going on here. He realized, no, he probably didn't have it as he got off the bus. He probably didn't have it on the bus. He probably didn't have it that he left the house with one shoe. Ethan, I love you, but I still don't understand that. But when we share these, as teachers, these stories, we're reminded that the craziness that we experience, like Ethan's one shoe story, are not actually that unique, that we actually have quite a few of those.
We have some good ones for you.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
No, we know lots of the kind of the standard excuses.
Oh, yes, my dog ate the homework.
Yeah. I'm just too sick today.
Yes.
Now, those might be real reasons, but not necessarily excuses. But we'll talk about that later. So we'd like to start with a few excuses that you probably never heard. We were actually quite shocked by some of these. And as you listen, just think how you would react if you heard one of these. So I'll start.
Okay.
These come from some of our cool teachers, and they come from the internet, including a really nice forum we found on Reddit, which will be linked in the description below. But here's the first one. I'm too pregnant.
Oh yeah, I can identify with that.
I didn't know there were gradients of pregnant.
Right, yeah.
She said I was too pregnant. Alice Keeler, one of our cool teachers, said that a girl told her that she was going to miss class because it was too hard being pregnant.
Yeah,
that was the quote. And what was funny is that Alice was pregnant at the time, and she had no problem being there.
Okay, ready for mine?
Yeah.
I got typhoid from the science lab.
What?
Okay, one teacher received the following email, said a student got typhoid. I thought, well, what is typhoid? Can you even still get typhoid? But anyhow, from the science lab. It's a dangerous place.
It is. This is why you should not
Dissecting
ever
those frogs,
go.
Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it. Get away from those frogs.
How about this excuse? Oh, I couldn't be there because I had to meet the president.
Okay.
The teacher didn't believe this at first, but it was actually true. The student's father was a Secret Service agent, not assigned to the president's detail, but a Secret Service agent nonetheless, and ended up having an opportunity to meet the president. So the student missed a major exam and class for doing that. Teacher didn't believe it at first until they got a picture of the student with the president.
Oh, wow. I like that one.
Yeah.
Okay, the kangaroo excuse, you have
I use that
the
one all the
squirrel
time.
excuse, but this was a kangaroo excuse. I guess it was
kangaroo.
Somebody in Australia, but said that he and his mother ran over a kangaroo, and that must have been terrible.
Yeah.
That must have been really horrifying, actually.
And you're late? If you ran over the kangaroo,
Would you just keep going? No.
That's a good question.
That's not a good one. I don't like that one. Poor kangaroo.
True story. My mom and I were on our way to school one time, and we got hit by a dog. A dog ran out of the woods, crashed into the side of our '84 Renault Alliance.
Oh, wow.
Laid dead on the ground for a second. We stopped, opened the doors. The dog jumped up, ran back into the woods.
No.
We got hit by a dog.
Thank goodness.
That's
I'm
a true
so glad
story.
to hear it was still alive.
And I used that excuse too. Big old dent in the side of the door from that dog.
Okay.
How about this one? My house blew up. I would have been there, but my house blew up. Teacher did not believe it. The student was chronically late all the time, always had an excuse, so called him on it. He said, come on over. Teacher drove by that house, and evidently there was a kitchen and gas fire in this tenement, and it blew up the entire building.
Oh, my house blew up. I like that.
Yeah, I would have been there, but my house blew up.
Well, how about this one? I fell off a cliff. And the teacher, again, didn't believe the student and was just not really very empathetic. The next day, the kid shows up to class, in a wheelchair with both of his legs in casts. Now, maybe he faked that.
Terrible.
I don't know. But anyhow,
you got to be committed to fake double leg cast.
I'm committed to this excuse. So that was another true one. The kid really did fall off a cliff and break both of his legs.
Oh, my gosh. How about this one? I can't turn in my assignment because of a car fire.
What?
A car fire. They were on their way to school. The car caught fire. The books and book bags were inside. I would imagine that this is probably more common than not, like accidents and car fires. But the student, they actually brought in the remnants of the textbook, which was almost completely burned up. It's lucky that the student survived.
Well, how about this? One of our cool teachers, Zach Davis, wrote that he had a student who wrote him that said, "I'm too hot to come to class." I thought, well, okay, what does that mean?
That's kind of gutsy.
Exactly. But apparently the student lives in Thailand or something. So
okay.
the student was too hot to come to class.
Because if I was still in school, that's an excuse that I would use.
Yeah, right,
yeah,
exactly.
Too hot.
We won't go there.
Come to class.
No.
How about I was late because our sheep got out.
What?
Our sheep got out. It was a student in a rural area who came in and said, I was on our way and a couple of sheep got out, so I had to round them up, so that's why I was late. And the teacher, being new to the rural area, thought, I guess that makes sense, and believed the student, contacted the mom on an unrelated thing a couple of weeks later and said, yeah, told me about the sheep. And the mom sold out the child saying, well, that's happened before, but it didn't happen on that date. So the student lied.
Nailed you, got caught.
That was not the day the sheep got out.
Yeah.
But smart 17-year-old.
It was a good one. And then how about this one, a World of Warcraft tournament? All right,
What?
this is an online story where
Right.
a kid could not turn in his online assignment because his roommates were having a World of Warcraft tournament. And because of the tournament, they were sucking up all the bandwidth, and he didn't have enough bandwidth to turn in his assignment.
We're talking like 200 kilobytes for a big Word file. I'm not buying that.
I'm not buying that one either. I think he was involved in the World of Warcraft.
Maybe so, and didn't do it. Well, those are some of the student ones that we have. If you've gotten some great ones, please leave them in the comments on this video. We would love to. This has been so much fun to put together. We'd love to have another episode related to the great excuses that you've heard. And thanks to the cool teachers for chipping those in. We have a couple more that are from teachers because students are not the only ones who have to come up with excuses.
I know,
from
and
time
that's
to
a
time.
sad thing, really.
Yep.
Teachers do not give excuses if you're late.
No.
Don't say because I had to go to a wedding or something. Just tell them you didn't do it. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. on Reddit, True Vindication wrote, in 8th grade, I didn't get any homework back. I swore up and down that I turned it in, but the teacher laughed and pulled out my homework. The teacher's dog had eaten the student's homework.
Right. Okay.
So
see, another reason why all students should be submitting their work electronically. That way you'll totally get away from that on both sides of the picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there's also a French teacher who couldn't hand back the quizzes because her dog had eaten them. This is a common theme. Evidently, a lot of teachers
dogs are hungry.
Are not feeding their dogs because the teachers aren't making enough.
Terribly sad.
And one teacher admitted that they had the desire to get out of grading so much that they thought about lying to the students about leaving their stuff on trains, commuter trains, and things like that.
They automatically get an A, I guess. I couldn't grade it. I guess I'll have to give you an A.
Yep.
Hey, go for it.
Very true. Okay, so one final thought before we go here, my students always hated it when I said this to them. My children definitely hate it. But I heard it somewhere. I wish I could give credit to the person who inspired me to say it. But the idea is, we get all these excuses into us, and we can say to our students that that's a great reason,
right?
But it's no excuse.
That's a good good thing. That's a
an
good
excuse might be that they were involved in something that was beyond their control, a car accident while a parent was driving. There are opportunities where you can excuse someone's participation, but most of the time they're just reasons that may have been avoidable. And I'm not saying being punitive at all. What I'm simply saying is that it's good for people to understand.
Take responsibility.
Yeah.
That R word.
The R word.
Ooh,
that's a dirty R word. Don't say that.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I think that's a good idea.
It's a great reason, but it's no excuse.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's pretty much what we have for you. Please remember to like and share this video on our Facebook page. Subscribe to our YouTube page. We'd like to be able to bring all of our cool teachers together. So when we ask a question like this, what's the craziest excuse? Yeah, we'd love to
Do you think we could do another one?
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm sure we totally could. So give us your stuff. So hit us up on Facebook. We'd also like to know if you know somebody who we should feature a cool teacher in a future episode. Please start nominating some cool teachers to us. And we've been asking for and are starting to get, so send us more of the pictures of your teacher lounge.
And you can come visit our cool teacher lounge
Please do.
too.
Please do. Come and hang out with us. So stay tuned for Cool Teacher Extracurricular, where I'm going to tell Barbara some excuses that
can't wait.
I got when I decided that I would take my students, my very first year of teaching, to Hawaii.
That must have been an exciting, no wonder it was your first year of teaching. It's amazing you continued after that.
It is amazing that I continued, but there are some amazing horror stories from that trip. And I'll tell Barbara about those in Cool
Sounds
Teacher
good.
Extracurricular and show some video and some pictures of said wonderful
Is
slash
school over yet?
horrible
Is
trip.
school over yet?
That was the bell, wasn't it?
There's the bell.
Yep. Okay. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
Bye.